Hello, this is Dr. Gakman here with Battle with the Best of Them. I'm just going to be showing off some pictures that I took in-game in Pokemon Go and some other stuff. Just really quickly, I was excited that day when I was getting a bunch of plusles and minus. It was nuts. It felt like a community day for that. This was a while ago. Some of these are from a long time ago, so don't mind me as I go through this. I got a battle with the best of them, my first Magikarp shiny one. And if you see here, right there, it says 667. Right after that one, I had hatched another one. So my 666th Magikarp was my first shiny one. That's ridiculous to me. Also, I noticed, I had caught other shinies before that, but I had noticed that there's a male and female symbol, both shiny. Even though it was female, it showed up like as if, it was male and female. Really confusing to me. But I think what it was the game shows you what both look like when you catch one of them. Because there are differences. The male has yellow whiskers or golden whiskers, and the female has white whiskers. So, blah, blah, blah. I was really proud to finally have a Ninetales in a gym. There's my code, blah, blah, blah. Marowak, the first time, or one of the times that I had seen it. Shiny Zapdoses, I got 4 of them, which is such a change of luck. My first 8 Zapdoses I didn't catch when they first came out. So, and Zapdos was the reason why I chose Team Instinct. Zapdos is one of my favorite Pokemon. Electric types are always my favorites. So, Shiny Wursel. There's a guy around here. He's one of the top players. Wursel. He helps a bunch of other people. He arranges the raid trains in Kettering. But there's a guy that goes around. I think I know who it is. It's this younger guy, and he wears glasses, and he looks kind of like this. He goes around. I don't know. He's got shiny Wursel. There's another guy that doesn't like another guy, and he says that guy's name sucks or whatever. People are goofy around here. I was really happy about this. My first Ultra Fen was Bolted Bee. There was this glitch going on in the game where when you go to catch a Pokemon, they already had a candy on them. So that was a little weird. Here's my first Japanese Alolan egg. So I was pretty excited about that. Here's my trainer code again. Blah, blah, blah. This is good to know. Trading costs for when you trade with friends, yada, yada, yada. It was another glitch where they didn't write it out, but when I restarted the game, it shows catch a dragon type. So that happens sometimes, and when you restart, it usually fixes it. There's my first Spinda. This was another thing too. A long time ago, I'll have to find the picture. It said a really strange message right when the egg was about to hatch. Now what it does is sometimes when you go to check your status of an egg, it'll just go blank like this. Also, this is weird too because I did this year. Yet here it is saying November 15th, 2016, which is strange in itself too. Giraffarigs, I was trying to prove that it was a nest over at Delco. I don't know why I have that up there. That either. That's on there again. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this was the Ripple in Time. I was taking pictures to show other people what to do next. There was my first shiny Murkrow. I caught it with my Pokemon Go Plus. It was a battle with the best of them, as I signify with this star up here. Here is my first shiny Ho-Oh. 40 attempts before I finally caught a shiny Ho-Oh. It was nuts. Lugia and Kyogre I got right away, but Ho-Oh was impossible. Lunatone, my first one. There was a Blissey in the wild. That's kind of rare. Staryu, they had changed the color for it. Sometimes when they changed the colors of the Pokemon, it was more brownish and less bright orangish. Sometimes when they change the colors of them, soon after that, they become shiny. Of course, this one didn't become shiny in Pokemon Go yet, but whatever. I don't know why I was showing this off here. Oh, I know why, because this is a new stop. They had added, when the Sprint took over that spot there, it used to be a Radio Shack, and then it was Radio Shack Sprint, and then Sprint took it all over. When Radio Shacks all closed, there was 2 stops there. But then later on, they changed it and made it just a gym. And then later on, people who play Ingress suggested that they put a stop there next to the gym. And so they physically brought a flower pot over there and made that the Sprint flower pot. That was kind of cool. Ingress players who are longtime players, when they suggest a stop for, or when they suggest a zone for Ingress, it also becomes a stop for Pokemon Go on the map. Because, you know, Ingress is kind of the backbone for Pokemon Go, at least when it comes to the map and this kind of stuff. So pretty soon they're supposed to be opening up, here's my Celebi, they're supposed to be opening up where we can make suggestions when we're level 40 players. Now they've done it in other countries. They've got it on hold right now because I guess there's been some difficulties. And I imagine it's going to take a bit before it comes to America because there's already a lot of stops in America. But they wanted to do some of the other countries like Brazil and South Korea that didn't have a lot of stops, so that they could suggest more stops to Niantic. Here's a shiny Wingull. Blah blah blah. A Lileep in the wild. That's kind of rare. Then they added QR codes. That was really cool. Then they added another stop. There's Kettering Fire Department, which is funny because not even a year later, they made it into a gym instead of a stop. Something to note up here, you see this little emblem up here. I'll show it to you again later on, but I guess it went back as far as this when this became a gym. Here's some Grimers. I was taking pictures for a friend who wants to trade me Grimer. She's big Muck and Grimer fan. It's kind of weird, but whatever. This. Why did I take a picture of this? I don't know. I think I was telling somebody that that's where a stop was for something, in case they didn't know. Those are some trades for a friend. Funny picture. My first Alolan egg that was a regional, guess what it was? It was not Kangaskhan, not Farfetch'd, not, what you would want it to be. It was a Taurus. And it was from my friend in Burton. Thanks, friend in Burton. But then I finally did get a Kangaskhan and a bunch of Spendas. And then this started showing up. Now, everybody thought it was a glitch at first, but then they played it off and said, no, this is actually a real Pokemon, right? Usually when the CP has a question mark next to it, it means that it's so high that that it can't tally what its CP level is. But usually they put the question marks before the CP, not after. So this was a strange occurrence. When you go to catch it, it ends up being a Ditto, of course. It's then they started talking about Meltan. It's a new legendary and blah, blah, blah. They appeared everywhere after the Cyndaquil, or the Chikorita Community Day. All of the Chikoritas that were on the map turned into these Meltans. But here is the thing. Before Meltan was a thing, see, they're all over the map there. There was Kecmelion, which is also another Pokemon like Ditto that can transform. Now, my original idea was that I think that Meltan was a total glitch, and that they were working on some kind of weird model for something, and then they were like, okay, well, somebody released it too soon, and it was supposed to be Kekmelion, which still hasn't been released yet. There's a Growlithe in the wild. They had these fire events. That's when Growlithe became shiny. Then they made the Mason Temple over here a stop. And then there's my Chikorita Day results. And there's another Meltan on the map. I had gotten that from that. This is a joke. I like the egg, bacon egg, and full English. So, but here's Kekmelion. Some people actually had encountered a Kekmelion when they went to go and see these on the map right here. Some people got this and some people didn't. That's if they hadn't encountered a Ditto pretending to be a Melmetal. Now, Kekmelion, like Ditto, also has copy abilities, but they still haven't released them in the game yet. I think they were planning on doing that, not on the Chikorita Day, but something leaked out, and then they ended up going back and turning it into Melmetal, which, you know, also has transformative abilities and blah, blah, blah. So that's a funny thing. This was a glitch. It's shows up as, I think this was, maybe it wasn't a glitch. This was, I can't remember what had happened. I think the Mewtwo's, the eggs were hatching for them like super fast. Whatever. There's my first Deoxys. And then I got a trade. She named it Dr. Torkoal to signify trading to me. That was Pokemon Bloom. She traded me this for, what did I give her? I think it was some garbage Pokemon. She was just being nice and giving this to me. Then there's a Hariyama and a Makuhita on the map. On radar. That was pretty cool. Then I was on the bus and I was like, what the hell are these? And it's a new hat for Pikachu, and it ended up being this double bolt hat, which they were everywhere. Then they had double bolt hat clothes. Something that's weird about that is that the witch hat will be pretty much every Halloween, I think, from now on. Same thing with the Santa hat. Every Christmas it'll come out. Maybe they'll do that with the summer hat. I'm not too sure yet on that one. The party hat they've done twice. And I think the Ash hat they've done one or two times. But that should come back. But this one, I don't know if it would come back again. I mean, it was some style or whatever. And that was also Claydol in the wild. That's weird. It was also my first shiny Pikachu was one with one of these hats. Now, this is supposedly like super rare because some people didn't even know that there was a shiny variant of this. Now that they've re-released I think the Witch Hat one, it also has a shiny variant, and I'm sure when the Christmas one comes back out again, it'll have a shiny variant now too. So here's a Alolan Geodude in the wild, which we thought they weren't going to appear anymore. Then this is weird too. Within the same minute of time, the Pikachu had went from having a hat to not having a hat. So that's a weird thing. Here's one of the only shiny mucks I've ever seen. I don't know. Some people were catching them, but from what I understand, it's like kind of rare. Here's my Celebi when I finally caught it. Here's when I had 803 rare candies. Here's a Wobbuffet. This was on the Day of the Girl, and the lipstick Wobbuffet were showing up on the map, and the heart-shaped tail Pikachus were showing up on the map. But then when you go to click on them, sometimes they were male. Weird glitch. They were supposed to be all female because of the Day of the Girl event that was going on. During that Day of the Girl event, I finally caught a shiny Drowsy. And then the next day, when the Day of the Girl event was ending, I caught a shiny Neo Queen. It sucked, but whatever. Most shinies usually do suck. Then me and Sarah had put ours in the gym. She was so distraught because she didn't get any shinies, but then she got a shiny Nidoran female, which later on I got. But that was much later after the Day of the Girl was over. And then for 3 days in a row, not Community Day shiny, I had gotten a Natu. That was the first Pokemon that I clicked on. It was my first shiny Natu. Well, it's my only shiny Natu right now. That was 3 days in a row of shinies. So I had the Drowsy the one night near a cemetery, the Nidoqueen at the Sugar Creek Plaza, which is the second shiny that I've caught at a Sugar Creek Plaza, and Natu while I was getting out of bed. So that was 3 days in a row of shinies. I've had better since then. Here's another glitch. Raj had sent me a friend request, but he showed up twice. Weird. There's some Chikorritas. There's my first Turtwig when they released Gen 4. There was the Chimchar. Bunnery. You know, and then there was a Shinx. And I battled a Shinx, or couldn't fight it, and I was upset because I was stuck at work. But then I got a Shinx the next day. That's nothing. There is, I think, my third shiny Shelder. Then when I evolved all these up, I was saving all my candy, my rare candy for that. So once I caught enough and had enough battle with the best of them, I evolved them up really quick. These are my timed ones that's why I put an hourglass in front of them. I think I've already traded some of these anyway, especially the two of the Tangulas, I think. But I have, those are ones that I'm trading for special things to boost stats of whatever I want to get, and you know, to make them lucky, basically, because they're from back in 2016. Blah blah blah. There's my shiny Metagross. There's my code again for some reason. These are all ones that I'm saving for my friend. Then I caught a second shiny Murkrow. The first one I caught with my Pokemon Go Plus without even knowing. So afterwards, this one I caught while someone was giving me a ride around the green. The green, a lot of people have a lot of luck there. Then I had taken pictures of some of my shinies that have the heart on them. The ones that have the heart on them mean that there's two stats that are 15. I don't have an IV checker, but this guy was like, send me pictures of those and I'll tell you what their IVs are, or whatever. And I did, and he said the Gyarados was the best. It was like 98% or something. But the other ones were pretty high too. They were in their 90s. Then this was the spooky message, 108 Pokemon. Somebody asked me, why 108 Pokemon? Well, there's 108 souls trapped into Spirit Tomb, whatever. That was a limited time one, and I imagine that they'll do it again next Halloween because some people didn't get it, because I think they might have taken it away. Another weird thing that was happening around Halloween was, especially, I think one of my friends, they made recently a Dusk Noir, and the Dusk Noir was like huge, and like kind of like overshadowed her or whatever, and it wouldn't show up on screen when you went to go click on it. But this is the same thing. It's a Drifloom's evolution. I forgot what they call it. Whenever that was in a gym with somebody, here's Creepin' White Van, by the way. Instinct names always have the best because they're usually secondary accounts for other people, so they make weird names. Creepin' White Van, whatever. And then Vahoot, he was a shadow in a raid one time. And then there's Sarah, and she's kind of like invisible. That was when they started the weekly Adventure Sync rewards. Let's see, how long is this video already? Oh, almost 20 minutes. Gee whiz. And that's how much stuff I had gotten from the first time of spinning that. There was a Jolteon on the map. Bunch of these. There's my first shiny Pinsir. Everybody was catching shiny Pinsirs, but I wasn't playing at this time because I was busy with work and other stuff. but I did catch 2 of them, and I ended up trading one of them to Sarah. There's a Hariyama. These are all the stuff that I got for the next week after that. I've done it every week since they started the Adventure Seek about a month ago. I was trying to take a picture of this, but it ended up being overshadowed by my Maul getting kicked out of a gym. To try to show people that I was close by, because I was going to run over there from work to do the raid with them. Here's a shiny Cubone. It was battle with the best of them. And then I got another shiny Cubone, and then later on I got a third one. This was all in one night, though. I got my shiny Nidoran female and 2 Cubones all in one night. It was like within an hour of each other when I was walking home. It was a pretty cool night. No Ponytas or Rapidashes, though. There's my code again. I am trading for a Ponyta to Spider, my third shiny Shelder. There's a bunch of... That was when the bugs were showing up a lot. Scythers. And then I caught a third shiny Murkrow. I don't even remember how or where I found it. But whatever. And then that was, I think, 2 days in a row of shinies. Whatever. Then there was the Cyndaquil day. Then I noticed this symbol up here. I talked about it before. When you complete a quest, it'll show you that you've completed the field research for that stop. So if you're like walking around and you're like, what stops have I done? If you're trying to do a bunch of field research, or you're looking for a specific field research, you can be like, oh, okay, this is the one that I completed. And, you know, that way you don't have to go back to that stop to get another field research or whatever. Or, you know, it'll show that even through the community day, because if you do the field research before the community day and then they switch over to a new one, then you go, oh, okay, well, I lost that one. Here's another Lunatone that showed up at the China buffet again. That was weird. Here's Adventure Seek again, and it shows that you can actually get eggs from that, which I did, and it ended up being Riolu, my first. I need a second one so I can make Lucario. Then I got my first shiny Shinx. That was and it was a battle with the best of them with 2 stats that were perfect. The third stat is not. I don't know what it is because I don't have an IV tracker, and I'm not going to use one of those, so shut up. But yeah, it was after 8 tries. On my 8th one, I got a shiny Shinx. I've done 3 since and haven't gotten another shiny, but I will. Then the professor was drunk and was speaking some gibberish one day. So, and, you know, I guess he was writing these up too. So, here's a funny thing. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Detective Pikachu, but it looks pretty awesome. Ryan Reynolds does the voice. Then I used my first Sinnoh Stone on Rosa Raid, shiny one. Here's Meltan Quest stuff mixed in with... This is my first after Community Day catch, and it was my best stat Eevee. So, you know, now I have enough to make another evolution, which I need Vaporeon still. I have all the other ones. And then I'm saving some back for when Glaceon, Sylveon, and Leafeon come out later on. So, blah, blah, blah. There was a bunch of Pikachus at Archers, none of them shiny. Showing off that for some reason. Let's go. Hatch 2 eggs. That gets you an encounter with Aerodactyl, which is possibly shiny. And then here's the 5th page of the Meltan quest. And the 6th page, I blazed through that one day after I made it past the Battle in 10 raids. And then I finally caught my first shiny Pikachu that didn't have a silly hat. And then I caught another one shortly after. All 3 of my shiny Pikachus, the one with the hat and the 2 without, are all female, by the way. Here's the 7th page of the Meltan quest, and here's the 8th, which actually gets you Meltan, and then the 9th gets you bonuses, more candy and stuff for Meltan. And then here you can search for two things at once. I'm searching for Meltan and Shiny to show that, you know, within those last couple of days, I actually was doing really, really good. I think there's a Snorlax in the wild. There's my Meltan. Not battle with the best of them. I need to get a better one. Another one of those. I was trying to cheer up my friend. She was sick. That's the friend that likes Muck and Grimer. My first Cresselia. And then there's the mystery box. See how it's red and blue, kind of like the Switch. Has the neon one has the blue controller on the left and the red one on the right. You get it from trading with the Switch version of Pokemon. It's called Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu. And then you get this box. I haven't used it yet, but I took a picture of it to show it off. A mysterious old box. Opening it causes a certain Pokemon to appear for a limited time. That certain Pokemon is Meltan. It's kind of like an incense for Meltan. So I'll be doing that later. Here's a funny picture. Reason why I put this on here is because when I traded my Machamp to Let's Go, and I pulled him out, and I was like, I wonder if I ride on his back. Probably not. And wouldn't you know, he's carrying me on his shoulders. So that was pretty funny. I was laughing pretty hard. This video is already too long, so I'm going to stop it here. But happy hunting, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.